They say podcasts are going to replace books. I don't know about that, but I do think TRS clips will assist your learning process. 2022, what's happening with the Taliban specifically? I feel like probably more than the Indian military, the Taliban is a threat to Pakistan right now. And when I hung out with Pakistanis in Dubai, fantastic people. And I've heard so many of them say that we love hanging out with Indians. But when we're hanging out with Afghans, there's always some cold energy. There's a cold vibe. I don't know what that is historically, but I mean, I have an idea through our podcast, but what's happening there right now in September 2022? What's the impact of the Taliban on Pakistan or in just Afghanistan in general?
Right. So the Taliban took over power in Afghanistan in August 2021. And we had a podcast at the time about the matter. So what they have done subsequently is they have consolidated their rule and their hold over the nation. Whatever problems were there in the country, like opposition to them, they essentially have more or less neutralized that. And their intention is to rule the nation, rule Afghanistan as they see fit, as per Sharia law. And it looks like most Afghans want that. Afghans don't mind whatever law is there as long as there is law and order and relative peace. Prosperity may come later, and the Taliban seeks Indian help for that. Now, when it comes to Afghanistan-Pakistan relations, there is a massive potential for problems because there is a massive border dispute left over from the British era, right? So when Maharaja Ranjit Singh created the Sikh Empire, before Maharaja Ranjit Singh came to power, there was a period of massive oppression in northern India through the Abdali Empire of Afghanistan. They perpetrated horrific atrocities in northern India, in Kashmir, all those regions. When Maharaja Ranjit Singh came to power, he evicted the Afghans from Kashmir, he freed the land, and he evicted them from various parts of Punjab, and he even conquered Pashtun territories. And that was the border of the Sikh Empire. After Maharaja Ranjit Singh died, the British very rapidly took over the Sikh Empire, and that the border of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire was made the official border of India and Afghanistan by the British. And then you had various problems as a cause of that. But after the partition of India and Pakistan, that became the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan. So a significant amount of Pashtun ethnic territory became part of Pakistan. And that is the schism between Pakistan and Afghanistan. The Afghans seek to reunite that territory with their own country. The people who live in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in Northwest Frontier Province, they wish to be reunited with their brethren and sisterin in Afghanistan. They do not feel like they are Pakistanis. Pakistan is dominated by just one ethnic community, which is the Punjabis, the Pakistani Punjabis, and everybody else resents that. So there is a simmering border dispute between Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Taliban are Pashtun nationalists. They were created by the Pakistani ISI during Benazir Bhutto's time. And the ISI always tried to put a religious angle on the Taliban, right? But the Taliban have morphed into Pashtun nationalists. And they seek redressal of the historical grievances. And that's why Pakistan and Afghanistan are not going to be friends. Every Pashtun knows that Pakistan holds Pashtun territory. And that's why there are these cold vibes and sometimes outright outbreaks of hostility and violence between Afghans and Pakistanis. So that's the deal.
Specifically about Afghanistan, the Taliban, what's happening? In Afghanistan, what's happening right now? And do you think the Taliban is kind of looking outward very actively that this is going to be our next thing to do?
The Taliban is still not powerful enough to actually do any damage to Pakistan. The Pakistan army is very powerful compared to the Taliban regime. They have nukes and they have air force, helicopters, all that. The Taliban doesn't have any of that. So the Taliban, for the next decade, I would say, is they will want to consolidate their hold on Afghanistan. They will want to enforce and bureaucratize the rules and laws and everything. They have enforced Sharia law and whatever. That will become like the de facto overall thing. And they have modified the education system. The girls are maybe not allowed to study beyond a certain level. Whatever. There is a worldview. It's for them to rule the country in whatever way they see fit. I don't think that we have to tell them what to do. It's their business. Let them do it. So the Taliban are not powerful enough to actually pose a genuine challenge to Pakistan, but there are border skirmishes, there are border hostilities, there is firing from both sides of the border. Sometimes the Taliban takes over a Pakistani position, sometimes the Pakistanis retaliate with their air force because they have the superior power. That's what's going on. There's not going to be peace along that long piece of real estate, and in the future, who knows what can happen. The Taliban have the asymmetric advantage of being adept in guerrilla tactics and in what you would call terrorist tactics. They can do that. They are very good at that. They may in the future do that against Pakistan if the Pakistanis open too many hostilities. And relations between India and Afghanistan are kind of warm. The Indian government has been training Afghan military personnel even after the Taliban took over. Recently, I saw a news report of an entire aircraft full of trained Afghan military personnel landing in Kabul from India just a couple of months ago during the Taliban regime. The Indian consulates, etc., have been opened, full security given by the Taliban. Even when Kabul fell in August last year, Indians were not harmed. Not a single Indian was harmed. Everybody was given a free passage to the airport, and every Indian was allowed to go back to India unharmed and with full security. The Taliban, when this entire thing happened, when the country fell to the Taliban, most Indian observers were saying, this is a disaster for India. It's going to create problems in Kashmir. There's going to be an outbreak of terrorism. Nothing has happened. Nothing whatsoever. The Taliban do not see India as an enemy nation. They may not love India. They will certainly not love India.
Why certainly not love India?
It's a religious thing.
Okay.
Right? But they hate Pakistan more than India. And they have no enmity with India for the simple reason that India has invested so much in Afghanistan, not in the sense of enriching warlords and corrupt politicians, but India has invested billions of dollars in projects that help the ordinary man, woman, and child in Afghanistan.
Why?
Long-term goodwill and long-term... we are now reaping the rewards of that.
Okay.
Geopolitically.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the entire episode and also check out this playlist that we've curated just for you.